the word, brother?
You know, living the dream, bro.
Wow, I don't even know where to start at, man. There's so much that's going. I just feel like battle rap within the last couple of days has been crazy.
Gotta love it, right?
Do I love it? Listen, I don't know if I love it, but it does. It's just, I don't know, Ward. You tell me what you think. You're the battle rapper. You tell me.
I mean, you know, when battle rap's being talked about, when it's super popular, when it goes past the whole the niche community, you know, like, I mean, I've just been home, what, 3 days, and I've probably had, you know, 5 to 10 people that would never really talk to me about battle rap, even knowing I'm a battle rapper, like send me like videos of like, yo, did you see this? Like, you know, one of the places that I'm a regular at, like my Cheers, you know, like the spot that I go to. I was leaving last night and the bouncer came out and he just knows I battle rap. Like, he doesn't watch battle rap at all, right? Like, I've seen him working there for years. And he's like, yo, Ward. He was like, yo, you battle rap, right? And I'm like, yeah. He was like, bro, did you see what Geechi did to Remy? Da, 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 you know? And yeah, he just wanted to talk to me for a long time about it, you know? And I just like, yo, I mean, it's just, you know, it's gotten so big, the round itself and everything. The odd part for me is that I think this was to be expected. So I would assume the battle would drop pretty quickly here. Like, I mean, it should to me. Like, it's not gonna do more damage or anything like that with the battle dropping. I mean, the whole round's pretty much, you know, out there, you know. So it's like I would think the battle would drop pretty soon.
Who would you have winning going into the battle between Geechi and Eazy?
I had Geechi winning going into the battle. Mine was on I don't even know why I had this stipulation, but I did. I was like, you know what? If Geechi puts his foot on the pedal, he's gonna win. You know, I was like, but if we notice that Geechi kind of lays off the topics or whatever, like he might touch on them, but he don't touch on them the way that we assume Geechi would. I was like, then he's gonna lose. You know, and so he put the foot on the pedal.
How you calling the battle overall?
I had it as a 30, but the second round's debatable. I had the first and third clear to Geechi in the building. But yeah, you know, I've watched a few of Geechi's interviews and I've seen a few of Eazy, what Eazy talking about or whatever. But like, yeah, there wasn't a lot from Eazy outside of like the real 2 big haymakers in the first round, and then a couple other things that he said that I really thought was like detrimental to, you know, to his opponent, you know.
Which part is
but
that?
There was lines. There was, huh?
Which part is that? That was detrimental. The detrimental part.
No, I said there weren't a lot. Like he didn't really like he didn't really like make Geechi look different. You know what I mean? And that's hard. It's hard to do already. You know what I mean? It's like because Geechi's just a solid dude. Everybody knows Geechi's the same everywhere he goes. But I wish that there would have just been more clever wordplay, talking, you know, different things or whatever. I just think Eazy got caught up in the idea of having to like try to shift the focus from what the battle was going to be about and try to turn it on Geechi, and then instead it kind of hurt him. But he had slick lines that I really liked, man, when he said I went from their phones to their TVs and now they trying to mirror me or something like that. Like that's not even a haymaker or nothing, but that's a well written, very fire type line. I'm like, oh, if he'd have had more of these throughout the rounds, you know, I probably would have strengthened his rounds, but I just didn't see it.
Ward, educate me right quick, brother, because you're the battle rapper, right? If you go into a battle, Ward, knowing that, you know, you're gonna have a round is coming your way where it's gonna be where the culture's automatically gonna have you losing a particular round, right? Can that message you in the writing process though?
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah. I mean, I've never been on that end of it where it's like, you know, wow, you know this is coming type thing or whatever. But yeah, definitely can mess with you. You know, like I haven't battled. Yeah, it's similar to like a return round, right? You know, like let's say Surf gets out that first round. Don't worry about whoever's battling Surf. Don't worry about that.
No, yeah, just chalk it.
You know what I mean?
You losing that round.
But the thing about this battle, it wasn't necessarily like a 1 round thing. It was the topic, and it was like, yo, the topic is gonna affect all 3 rounds if done the correct way, or if sold the correct way, So to me, Eazy lost the battle in the lead up to the battle, in just how everything went down. Now you're gonna still battle Geechi Gotti, and you're still gonna do this battle or whatever. Like, there could have been some things in the lead up that could have taken some of the sting out of, maybe what Geechi was gonna be able to say. And I just don't know. I mean, I don't like to get in people's personal
Absolutely.
matters or anything like that. You didn't hear no bars about that stuff from in my battle. You didn't hear, you don't see me tweeting on it, because when it comes to like marriages and that kind of stuff or whatever, like, I don't really try to, I'm not
Yes.
navigating through that. Remy's been nothing but an angel to me, in just business and everything, amazing. So, but whatever that situation is, however that situation presents itself, it was a catastrophe waiting to happen, and especially with somebody like Geechi, who gives zero intercourses, and he's going to he's going all the way, when it comes to that topic. So,
what was the vibe in the building?
it was interesting, man. It was a little smaller than I expected, but the crowd they seemed excited for battle rap. I even said to somebody, some guy had his video out while I was walking to the stage, and I was like, he's like, Ward, you gonna win 3-0? And I was like, probably not. And he was like, what? And I was like, I'm not gonna lie to you. Y'all been reacting to a lot of very like simple stuff, very like digestible, easy. Like, y'all been reacting to things, and I said, is like Clips is gonna have a field day up here, just walking y'all through some very random, simple stuff. And you guys, I already knew that was gonna happen with his material, his freestyling and stuff, And I was like, I'm gonna have more cadences, flows, punches, different things like that in and out of my rounds, and it's gonna be hard to combat the crowd reaction. But the crowd was they were engaged, I would say. But it was just kind of a weird crowd. It wasn't like you couldn't kind of tell like what they were really interested in and what they weren't.
What do you feel about the battle overall with you and Charlie? What do you think about that?
Yeah, so in the building, man, I had fun. I thought it was a great battle. Like, I didn't think like nobody got booed. The crowd wasn't looking at nobody like, yo, you half-assed this or nothing like that. Like, the battle with me and Charlie was always gonna be what it was, right? It was gonna be like weaving in and out of freestyles. It was gonna be that type of a match. It was gonna be rebuttals. Charlie has never changed. He writes the same every battle, right? So I don't know what y'all expected from Clips, but he was the same Clips that battled Jazz, the same Clips that battled, you know what I mean? So like, you just got to decide if you like him like that or not. You know what I mean? Like, and a lot of people love Clips, but a lot of people in battle rap are just kind of tired of that same old stuff.
All right, so check this out, right? I'm an A-Ward fan, right? Out of all the battles you had this year, regardless of if I feel Big K won that battle, I still liked your material in that battle. I still like your material in that battle, right?
Yeah, but that's a grudge match. That's an actual gladiator aggression back and forth battle. That's what I was saying.
Think about it. You had 2 great matches this year, Ward. You had 2.
Yeah. Wow, 1-1. A 1-1 going into the third. Who's gonna be the third?
Right? Frack battle. I still like your material in the frack battle. Right? Yep. The Verb battle, of course. I don't know. This battle was weird, Ward. I got you winning, but the battle was weird to me, bro. I don't know, man.
Yeah, outside of my I would say I'd say the round and a half. The first round. I loved the first round. I think my first round was great. I loved it.
Charlie's first round was his best round in my opinion. Also,
yeah. And my first round rebuttals, everything hits. First round we good. The tough thing is, and I really didn't say a lot of this in the lead up. Is like, bro, when I approach any battle, like I battled Charlie Clips in a 1-rounder and rapped 6 minutes, two full rounds of the best Charlie Clips material I could think of, So Clips in the 1-rounder did the exact same thing as he just did, He goes in there, he schemes the city, he schemes the restaurants, he talks about the football players, he has a ball head for whatever celebrity that has a ball head this month.
References.
Right, and that's what Clips does, and so he did the same thing. So it's like, in a rematch like this, it's like, man, I already rapped 6 minutes of Charlie flips, Chuck flips, wilding out material, different things like that. And Clips is not even active. There's no promo. There's no nothing. There's nothing to talk about. There's no, no grudge match. It's just back to battling Clips again. Like, So I knew that it was going to be a battle where I weaved in and out of freestyles in the third round because I was setting it up to try to do the wilding out thing, with the t-shirt or whatever. I wanted to get some good freestyles and stuff. I thought it was cool that Justina was on stage. I thought it was cool that she jumped in the battle. You know what I mean? Like, I just thought just little things or whatever. But it was never going to be the...
Once she jumps in the battle, it makes... Are you sitting there like, okay, she jumped in the battle and I got a wilding out t-shirt on. You can't make this up, though. Is that going through your brain?
Yeah, exactly. And she popped up early, or she popped up like in the second round or whatever.
Yeah.
But like in comparison to the Verb battle, like it was apples and oranges. It was never gonna be that. You know what I mean? Like I didn't have a talking point with Charlie Clips for 3 rounds where I was gonna go in there. You know what I mean? And but like at the same time, bro, we get off the stage. Everybody in the crowd like had a good time. Nobody was trying to boo us. People were shaking our hands. Yo, I got you 2-1. Da da da. It was more so the reception online. Because you couldn't feel any energy, you weren't really entertained, and you saw us weaving in and out of like freestyles and what seemed to be, for him, I don't know what he actually writes in freestyles. I don't know, I don't know how he does it or whatever. When I freestyle, I either rebuttal or I'm freestyling about something that's going on right then. Oh, Justina walks on the stage or whatever, But yeah, I definitely was. I really liked 2 rounds of my material. And then the third round, I prepared the third round to be like a clips like round. I was gonna freestyle through it. I was gonna do the Wild 'N Out audition, show the shirt off and everything like that, and then have some writtens to make sure that I met the full 3 minutes, requirements.
Is this battle debatable?
You
sure, sir?
Absolutely.
I got you winning. There's some people that got Clips winning, sir.
I mean, like I said, there's nothing that like if you're gonna give Clips a win because of crowd reaction, because he's Geno's and Max and Pat's and like you can't quote one line right now that he said to me that you thought was crazy about A Ward. You know what I mean? Like the man said Sister Act. Oh, and your Sister Act too. Like this stuff we're talking.
I said that in my recap, the Sister Act line. Yes, I said that. You know it's coming though.
Yeah. I'm just saying like he's an entertainer, but when it comes to written material and different things, like the clips that I posted already, people like I'm posting clips on Instagram. People were like, "Yo, I heard this battle was lackluster. Yo, you are wilding right now." You know what I mean? Like there's material in
the gyms on the court, just Rican line and the goods, Coke So White, mother child support line was.
I mean, didn't I do the goods Coke So White bar the day it happened?
So are you saying, all right, is it not fair, or is it fair that people are going to critique your rounds against A Verb compared to Clips?
No, I mean it's the definition of a team playing down to their competition, right? So, and I'm not saying that Clips is inferior competition to Verb because honestly, on a talent level, I put him on the same level. I even said it in the battle. I'm like another veteran who don't really write with fire. Da 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 da. This line was for Verb. It applies to Clips, right? And I'm talking about material on paper. These guys are always going to be able to sell themselves as legends and be like in the presence and the charisma and stuff in the building. But I'm talking about what's actually on the paper when you look at it. You know what I mean? So it's going to be one of those situations where it's like, yo, we just watched, Colorado State, boom, 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 and then the next week you play against, Austin P and you win by 7 or 10, and it's like, so yeah, it's so close to each other though. But like my thing is this, bro, like it's a win for me against a legend, you know what I mean? On the East Coast, somebody who is naturally known for being from there or whatever. And it's 2 weeks after the Verb battle, and then I got another battle in 2 weeks on King of the Dot, so it's like, yeah, like.
Let me ask you a question. Being that they moved the venue from Philly to New Jersey, right? Clips still keeping in the Philly references. Is it good to do that, even though because people from Philly are gonna come there, or is it like, bro, how long? I mean, this is New Jersey. We're in Camden, New Jersey. Would you not stay so hard with the Philly references, or you're not from Philly, so?
Well, not even that. They moved it from New York. I really wanted the battle to be against Charlie on a big stage in New York, okay. Because I knew he would write different. Like it maybe not completely different, but it would have been his first time back in New York, I think, in like years on a main stage, right? I don't think he's had a New York main stage battle in a long time, if I'm not mistaken. So I'm like, oh, maybe that'll light a little bit of the fire. And it was supposed to be August 5th, you know. So when I get my contract, I think I got my contract June 1st. So I had, 2 months ahead of time. Then I find out they pushed the battle back. Well, now I'm locked in all of a sudden with Frack. Now I'm locked in with Verb, and I'm like, I'm kind of focused on these battles, and the Clips battle is over here. But yeah, him keeping all the Philly references in. I took my Philly references out. I posted a video, on Twitter, whatever. I took most of my Philly references out. But it was a Philly crowd though, like a lot of people from Philly, like Camden's right there, So, I just was more ups. You saw me on stage and he was mentioning it a couple times. I'm just rolling my eyes because I'm like, is this really happening? Like, is every line a Philly reference? Is every, like, I'm just sitting there, I'm just kind of baffled by the, how well he sells that elementary type, stuff. And it's like, that's why he's like, his charisma and his famous and his presence and everything and how he delivers things is really difficult to combat because on paper, a lot of that stuff is not going to work for any of us in a new era.
You and Loso going to a game or some shit? I'm like, bro, what we talking about? What are we talking about here, man? His second round, I wrote it down in my notes. Going through the motion clips. That's what I called it. This second round was going through the motions, in my opinion.
Yeah, and the third round was a weird church, like the whole third church round or whatever was just.
He did his third round saying, I'm about to take you to church. So, all right, if you're going to tell me you're taking me to church, I'm expecting some bars that's going to like,
yeah.
I didn't get that clip.
Or let me get can I get an amen? Or let me get like, like I have the, turn, like, I don't know. There could have been a lot of stuff in that round. So I think I got the second and third clear. And I think the first is a debatable round.
Bar. Clips, you got a Martin Tommy bar. Come on, brother. Martin Tommy bar.
I probably checked out by then. But yeah, I thought I got the second and third clear in the first round. I think I got the first round too. I just, with the rebuttals and everything, like I don't see, I don't see him having anything better than that.
All right, so there was a conversation on Twitter, and I got to ask you this. Some people were saying that they felt you were pandering in the second round on some when you're saying material any worse than white people and white people the lines you were saying and stuff like that. What do you say to people that say stuff like that? Is that nitpicking, or what do you say to that?
Pandering? I was the one pandering?
In the second round. I heard that online. In the spaces, in fact. That's why I wrote that down to see. Let me ask you what about this and get his take on
so what they're saying is I can't reference a white joke.
Hey brother, I got to ask these questions, brother. You feel me? I get these questions.
Yeah, if that's the case, I never heard that as pandering or anything, like that's kind of wild, material age is worse than white people. I think this is a funny joke, But if they feel that way, that's one thing. To me, pandering is all of the restaurants and all of the Eagles and all of the, like, that's pandering, right? The man even said like Kensington Ave and a Don DeMarco. He's going through the street names and everything. That's like that to me. That's pandering. Now self-deprecation is one thing. Is a form of humor when you go in and you say something about white people or whatever. But I started the second round off with actually what I thought was a very poignant, like, first 8 bars or whatever. And I said,
visitor hip hop, you said.
Like, I literally said, like, and I've said this before, like, I'm a visitor in hip hop, but the illustration I wanted you to get was like, yo, I know that I'm in the guest room in this house, but guess what? Anytime somebody comes in that guest room, it's clean, it's taken care of, it's consistent, it's, and there's a lot of people in this culture that it's their house, but they don't pick up after themselves, And so the one thing you can do is you can say I'm a guest here, but you can't say I didn't treat it with the most integrity and and I said I appreciate it. It's an honor. And so that's when I came out with that first 8 bars. I actually loved that first 8 bars. That might be some of my favorite material that I've written this year.
Okay. Clips' Apollo Drago line. What you thought about that?
Got me. Rookie mistake, man. Rookie mistake.
He got you on. He got you on that one, brother. He got you on that one.
Rookie freaking mistake. That irritated me. I was so mad at myself.
Do you feel the 40 Glock line? Do you feel that people are waiting for you to drop that now, every battle now?
Yeah, I didn't plan on dropping it. I'm just in the third round freestyling, you know what I mean? So like I wasn't even gonna say it again. I never wrote it for this battle or nothing like that. You know, at this point we're in the third round.
How receptive people are too is what I'm saying.
Yeah, they are, but I also like that's not necessarily something that like is gonna be a consistent part of my rounds. You know, it's gonna be an angle taken against me or whatever, and it might pop back up or whatever, you know, in battles or whatever. In that round versus clips, you know, we're going back, entertaining, freestyle and stuff like that. You know, he brings up, you know, he was taking me to church. That's what he was doing. So since he was taking me to church, you know, I was just kind of combating it. But it is like, I mean, like if I wanted to, it could be like a strapped in. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, it could be, you know, I didn't even have to say the word in the clips. Yeah, I didn't have to say the word in the clips battle, you know. But at the end of the day, like I don't ever tailor my material, you know, for like the rounds to be heavily influenced by violence and different things like that. Like if you hear a gun bar, you'll hear a gun bar here, or you'll hear, you know, hey, don't talk about my mama, or it can go down. But like my total material is not ever gonna be kill you, shoot you, punch you, you know, whatever, just down the line.
And of course, that rebuttal you had, man, that Frozenberg, Vixen, OnlyFans, you always leave. I don't know what's up with you and Chrome. Your rebuttals on Chrome, for whatever reason, brother. You feel what I'm saying, man?
Man, that was an alley-oop right there. When he said he turned Frozenberg into a podcast, and I was like, oh, let me catch this lob.
Why did you walk off Uncle Rob? What happened? People were talking about that also. They make a big deal of everything you do, brother. But I just need to clarify.
We're in the back. You go out the back. There's a parking lot, but it's enclosed, right? So you can it's only one way in, one way out, from what I understood. I'm in the middle of the interview, and Eazy and Geechi are getting on stage, you know. So the dude opens the door, and he's like, "They're starting." And like for me, it's one of those things where like once they start, we're not opening this door again, you know. So I didn't even give it. I was like, "Oh yeah," and he was like, "Then I said, "Bow," and I just went through the door or whatever, you know. Like I thought we was done, you know. I didn't even waste time to give 5-10 more seconds or whatever of it, whatever. And so and then of course I get in there, and you know it doesn't start for 10 more minutes because. And like apparently, like, and people could correct me if I'm wrong, but this is what I heard is like even during my third round, like that was Eazy and Geechi's people as they were coming in the venue, like getting into it in the back, you know. Wow. And so like I know you can't handle that or whatever, but it's like when you got these guys that are coming in with 20, 30 people, and I'm up here rapping, you know, and now all of a sudden somebody's back here, there's a scuffle, somebody got tased, somebody got whatever, the crowd's now disengaged looking back there, you know. To me, there's a sense of professionalism that, you know, like when you come in with people like that you should have knowing somebody's battling before you. But I mean, it is what it is.
Absolutely, brother. I agree with you, man. Let me ask you a question. Is it hard for battle rappers to admit they lost a battle?
Yeah, of course. Of course.
Is that? Why is that?
I mean, look, you got, I won't ask you two personal questions, but I always look at like your battle and your material as your kid, you know. It's like, yo, I don't have any kids, but like you can't tell me my kid ain't the cutest kid in the world, right? So like we putting kids beside each other, you know, or whatever. It's like, oh, my baby's cute, my baby's cute. Nah, your baby lost this one. Man, get out of here. That's I made that. I created that. You know, I spent time with that. I love that. So like you trying to tell me that something is like in an art form is so different, you know, in a subjective type battle, you know. The times that I've come to grips and said, hey, okay, you know, I'm not mad at people saying I lost that battle, you know, is whenever it's just such a general consensus, you know, or I've gone back and really watched it and said, okay, I see, I probably am always going to like my material better than my opponent because I love my material, you know. I think I write really well, and I think a lot of people outside of like maybe a Rum Nitty or a couple other battlers that I feel like can consistently write 3 rounds on my level, you know. But it's just, yeah, it's just difficult, man. That's your baby, you know. Like that's, yeah, you know, it's gonna take a lot of percentages of votes, and it's gonna take a choke. It's gonna take a, you know, whatever. So,
let me a couple more questions here. What's
your
take on Nitty and Ilmac?
You battle man, I love that.
You battle both those brothers. So what's your take on that battle?
2 of my toughest battles ever. 2 very different approaches. Ilmac literally break down everything about you in, you know, a good rapping, not a heavy punchline, but just like a consistent rapping, character assassination with like creative angles and different things. Rum Nitty, man, obviously the greatest puncher in the world. Can find a way to just put words together on such a level. It's wild. He doesn't even have to angle you. He doesn't have to know anything about you. He literally lets the words do the talking, and it's so wild to me. And that's one of the things I respect about Nitty so much is like, a lot of times when we are attacking your opponent, you're talking about something they did or something they said or how they carry themselves or an old battle or whatever. And so in a sense, like if you're attacking me, you might need my faith. You might need the fact I said Glock 40 on your bitch ass. You might need me doing this or whatever to create. Like literally Nitty just creates words that is just like with the punchlines, and he needs nothing. Maybe your name to flip or whatever, but he attacks you in a manner that's just so impressive to me. King of the Dot crowd, I'm gonna assume it's between 2 and 2:30. I mean, King of the Dot don't really do 3-minute rounds, so I'm gonna guess it's 2 minutes to 2:30.
Yes.
But Ilmac likes longer rounds, so I don't know if because when I battled Ilmac, they paid me more because he wanted to go longer. Because I told him, I was like, yeah, I got an original deposit, and then they wanted to go longer, and so I was like, I need more money for that, So I don't know if he wanted to go longer with Nitty, but yeah, right now, bro, I'm gonna edge Ilmac. If anybody knows the grueling, process of battling every 2 weeks or every 3 weeks, it's me, And as much as we like to say that we're gonna be on 10 at all times, sometimes it's not possible, There's been times where I've written the best rounds of my life like 2 days before the battle, But you can never just predict that, So rest is necessary, but it's not always, it doesn't, I can have 4 months and still be regular, or I can have 1 week and be exceptional. You just never know how to material. The time though, it gives you the benefit of the doubt to where if there's 2 or 3 days where you just want to like sit back and chill and reevaluate, you can handle that. But like in a situation now where I'm battling 2 weeks, 2 weeks, 2 weeks, now I'm like looking at the pad like, no, we got to make this happen, And Nitty's kind of doing the same thing.
Isn't that too much though for the brain, though, brother?
But you got to remember, like I said, I was supposed to battle August 5th Clips, right. September 2nd Verb, and then King of the Dot, September 30th or October 1st, whichever day. So like that's a month in between, like that's what it was supposed to be. So then you get reschedules and you get all this stuff, and it's like, hey, I don't want to miss the opportunities of battling on Chrome or RB or King of the Dot.
Right. Because people try to say, oh, Ward, the first thing they say is, oh, Ward needs money. But then I've heard you say that you don't battle just for bread is not the main reason you battle.
Bro, I love performing, man. I love performing. And then, like I said, I love traveling. I love being with my friends. I love, I do love taking vacations with my family and stuff like that. Like, I mean, that stuff's great or whatever.
Absolutely.
But like I tell people all the time, like I'm not gonna be 55, 60 years old and look back and be like, dang, I wish I would have, performed more, Like to me, I don't know if I said it to you or another interview. It's like, I was a hooper. Yeah, I was a hooper, I like the adrenaline, And so and like right now, bro, I'm still the biggest I ever been. Like pause, like, necessarily if like in the culture, right? Like my name is right now still at the highest. Like you can't go back and say last year after this battle, A Ward was considered higher than what he is now, right?
They got you and Verb as one of the best battles. I saw a poll the other day.
Exactly. So what I'm saying is it would be one thing if all of a sudden you saw me regressing and like I was falling down to a level of what people were looking at and saying, yo, that's what you get for taking all those battles. You done messed up, you done choked, you done did this, you did that, boom, boom, boom. You got smoked a bunch of times and now you back down here with us. Then it's like, okay, cool, But because, there was a battle with Charlie Clips where maybe people didn't like, or expected maybe a little bit more. It was more of a fun, back and forth freestyle battle than it was, just a top level performance on my end for 3 rounds. That doesn't necessarily mean, that I'm quote unquote falling off,
Got you. My brother, I hope we can talk after September 30th because I can't wait for Blackout 8, man. I'm looking forward to that, man.
Yeah, it's a 2-day event, man. It's gonna be great. But man, I'm excited to see all those guys. I haven't been back in Toronto since I guess the Poe Rich battle, which was that the decade event? Yeah, I think that was a decade event.
Yeah.
And so I haven't been back. Well, I haven't been back on King of the Dot in Toronto since then. But yeah, so I'm just super excited to get back there, man. That's family. They put me on, helped put me on in the beginning. And now you see, King of the Dot, RBE, Chrome, Riot. Like I got homes away from homes, So and that's the dope thing to me is like when you look at A Ward and his best performances ever, like you're gonna go and you're gonna find Verb and you're gonna find Rum Nitty and you're gonna find, the Geechi battle, the Vixen battle. You're gonna find a Vixen battle. You're gonna find like maybe Real Deal, or maybe, huh?
Clean also.
Yeah, Clean. Like you're gonna find my best battles ever on multiple high level platforms. Like I don't just like I'm not just only good on King of the Dot and RBE. I'm like my best battles ever because like I'm performing at a high level on all of these platforms.
All right. My brother Ward, appreciate you, man. We'll talk after the 30th, man.
Hey, 3, I always appreciate your honesty, man. Even when you like the battles, when you don't like the battles, you always keep the same energy, man.
Yes, I got to, man. You my guy. You know what I'm saying? And I appreciate.
Tell him, do me a favor.
You're one of the least sensitive battle rappers out here. Some of your peers are just, oh my God, I don't even want to go into that. That's a whole other conversation. Boy.
Hey, man, people are protective, bro. Do me a favor, tell him to give Brees Hall the ball, and we'll move on from there.
That's not a recipe for success. Zach has got to make 2 big throws throughout the game, though.
Yeah,
2 to 4 throws that to Garrett Wilson. He has to find Garrett Wilson.
Then Garrett Wilson is a monster.
He's a monster. Aaron Rodgers. I gotta holler at you. It's emotional time thinking about Aaron Rodgers.
Hey, I got on stage and Tennessee was beating Florida 7-0. I got on stage and it was 22-7 Florida in a swamp, and I was mad as hell. So yeah, so
As sports fans, we wear out our sleeves, man. Whether it's
good
or bad, man.
Always a pleasure, bro. I'll holler at you, man.
Always, war, love, man.
Mm-hmm.